Hey guys, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to learn methods in Java. So what is method? Methods are block of a statement which are used to do a specific task. Very simple definition. They create a method for doing a specific job. So methods are generally used to divide a large code into a manageable chunk of code. Usually methods are, it's divided a large code, to a smaller manageable chunk of code so that they can understand and they can figure out, okay, this method doing what type of job. Okay, there is some of the image. This image is not that good, but this is an example like it's of a method when you create a method. I will explain more. What is the syntax of method or to create a method? To create a method or method declaration, you need access or non-access modifier. You need a return type, and then you need a method name, or in the method name after you could have a parameter later, or it could be empty. Okay, then method body. Method body started with opening curly braces and closing curly braces, and between this there will be method, your statement or code, block of code. Here is an example. I said it's access modifier. So first you need access modifier, should have access modifier. Here is a public is access modifier. I believe that you already know what is access modifier. So public is access modifier. So it could be method could be public, method could be private. Those are the access modifier that's ensure the accessibility of your method. And then it's return type. What would be the type of your method? So your method return type could be void, could be any other the type of the method like integer, string. It depends on what type of data this method is returning. Okay, and then it's a method name. This is the method name like go, and then this is the parameter list. So your method could have a parameter list like some variable with the data type or the variable type, like one or multiple. It's totally up to you. It's totally depends on how you need to develop your method, or it could be even empty. And this is a body of your method. Let's see an example. Okay, so I will let's minimize this one side by side. Let's see. No. Okay, here is my Eclipse, and here is I create a one class, simple class. I give a name method demo. So this is a side by side my Eclipse and my node, and here is a main method. And inside this, let's see what I will do. I will create a let's create a method. So I will create a method first outside of the main method. So this is my main method. You can see this is my main method. Okay, this is the main method, and outside the main method I will create a method over here. Okay, the user defined method. Okay, so let's create a method here. I will give in a very simple method. I would say public. Okay, and then I will put, let's say, void. I will put as a default return type. It's easy to put it. It's like void. Then we can change the return type. So method return type, I'll put a void, and then I will give a name, say do underscore, let's give it a addition. Okay, and then this is, we can put, let's put a parameter. I would say two parameter, integer x. So this is the list of the parameter, and then integer y. Okay, and then let's put a method body. So you can put a method body like this, or you can put like this too. Okay, that's fine. And here let's put some code. So I would say, let's say integer, I will declare a over here integer z equals to say x plus y. Okay, x plus y. Then return z. Okay, return z, or you can just put the directly return z. Okay, let's find. And here you can see there is an error it's giving. So if you hover your mouse, it will show you, tell you that if some suggestion is changing, to it's saying that you change method return type to integer. The reason why, because I declare another variable. It's over here z equals to x plus y. and I said x plus y, here is x and y is integer, and my return z is return type also integer, and I'm returning z. So z is, what will have the value of summation of x plus y, which is the integer. But here I say return type is void. So return type is void is not matching your actual return data. Here I'm returning data z, which is the integer type. So you have to make sure that, if you return any data, whatever the data type would be, your method return type should be same. Here I'm returning integer, but here is a void. So let's change this to integer. You can select using automatically integer. Okay, that's the, so now the error is gone. Okay, and this method will, sum x and y, and then the actual value of x and y. So let's see that how we can. So if you now match with this is access modifier. So public is our access modifier. Return type, integer is return type. Then method name, this is the method name. Okay, and this is the parameter list. And you can put as many parameters as you want by a comma. Okay, so just use a comma to make it separate your parameters. And then this is the statement or method body. See, that's simple. This is the way you can declare your method. Okay, and a return type, you can see it's, I already mentioned over here, it said it may be possible that a method returns a value or does not return a value. So sometimes method can be return a value or sometimes doesn't. It's totally up to you. If you return, if your method return any value, the return data type have to match your method type, like over here. Okay, but if it doesn't return it, your method return type would be void. I will show you. You can see that's what it's saying. If a method does not return any value, then its return type will be void. Okay, so let's see. And the parameter list, I will explain you. This is the parameter list. Okay, and method body I already explained. So let's see now, how can I call this method? How can I use this method? So in my main method, inside the main method, let's see that I can call that. How to call your method? I can use, you have to create an object of your class, because your method is a properties of your class. So if you want to call this method, inside your main method, you have to create an object. So create an object. It's nothing in Java, just create a new, use the new keyword and puts the method, your class name. This is an object, and then let's put in a say, I would say, obj is a method object return types, I mean object reference, and your return type would be this, right? This is your object, this is the object reference. So your object reference has the knowledge all the elements or all the object in your class, right? So I can use obj dot, now I can call your method, right? What our method name is do addition. Okay, as soon as you call the method, if your method have any parameter list, you have to pass the actual value over here. So if I pass over here 100 and 200, so passing the real value, so I'm passing the real value instead of this parameter. That's called argument. Okay, so you have to pass the argument when you call a method if your method have a parameter. So 100 will be assigned to x and 200 will be assigned to y. Okay, and then so here it's 100 and 200 is the value of this z would be 300, so it will return 300. Now if you want to print this, okay, you can easily print it. You can print here. So let's, I would say sys out. Okay, sys out. Then you can easily put this code, because this code is nothing. This code, it's okay. Let me see. Let me get bigger. So this code is calling the method and assigning the value. But if you want to see the output in console like this over here, okay, you have to print it. So this is a print statement and pass this code, right? So this will print over here the total value. So if I just run it, okay, you can see this is the value. Your method is coming to 300. Okay, now let's see this. If I want to see the method, instead of using a return keyword, when I can use the void. I said if your last statement of your method body is returning any data, that time you have to use return. Otherwise, you can use void. So here, instead of returning here, I would say, let me make a comment this one. I will put a print statement here, sysout, okay? And then let's put the z over here. So I'm saying whatever the value of the z, let's print it. So your last statement of the method is print statement. So it's not returning. So as a result, you can see there is an error over here. It's saying that you have to change the return type to void. Why? Because I'm using a print statement, not returning. Okay, so that's why your return type would be void. And here now, let's put this one. I don't need to print anymore this statement. Instead of, I'll just call this, use this, okay, call the method and pass the argument, right? You can see I call the method and pass the argument. It will be assigned over here, and then this 100 and 200 will be assigned over here, and then z will be printed. Okay, the value of the z will be printed. So by this line, it will give me the same result. Okay, save it, run it, simple. See, so this is the the method return type. Now another information about, you can say, we cover that. Okay, variable. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to add a variable in the class, in a global variable, which is called a global variable, or it's called instance variable. So if you declare any variable under your class level, so example, I'm going to declare a variable integer a equals to, say, 50. Okay, so this is a global variable, or you can say it's called instance variable. So instance variable are those variables which are declared within a class. So this is declared in a class. So this variable can be used anywhere. Okay, it can be used over here inside your method. And there is a local variable. So local variables are those variables which are declared within a method. So inside a method, in this method, I declare variable, right? You can say variable integer x, y, those are the parameter though, but it's a variable too, or integer z. So this is a local variable. This is that z is a local variable. So local variables, why it's called local variable? Because they're born within a method and also dies at the end of the method. So use case of this z, or local variable, within the method. You cannot use, you call this z outside of the method. You cannot use this z outside of the method, but you can use this a anywhere. Example, I can let's see, here is if I want, I can call directly this a to inside the method too. So let's add over here. So let's say add a. Okay, a. You see, there is no error. I'm directly calling a. So here it should be 200, and plus a is 50. It should be now 350. See, if I run it, you will see its value is 350. You see? So again, this is called global variable, or instance variable, can be used anywhere in your class. And this is your local variable, and the local variable, it's born and dies within a method. Okay, so that's the variables in a method. So here also, how to call your method using the object reference, of your class, and then you can call your method. And this is a argument, right? Passing your argument. Now, so this is the method that is defined or created by the user. There is another type of method, you can say, it's called predefined method. So predefined method, what is predefined method? It's predefined method are those methods which are already defined in Java and ready to use. So when you install the Java, you see this Java comes with its own library. So inside the library, Java comes with a lot of classes, a lot of the project, and lots of predefined methods to do some job. So if you know those predefined method and any one of the method you want to use in your class, you can call those method in your class and it can be usable over here. Okay, example, let's see. I will make a note over here. It's going to use case of predefined method. Okay, use case of predefined method. Okay, one of the predefined method is there is a method is called math. Okay, the method is a class name is math. There is a class name is called math. This is a class name. Class name is math. So math is a class name. It's already predefined in Java library, and inside the math class there is lots of method, useful method. One of the method is called random method. Okay, so we'll see. So if you want to random, what's a random method? So random method is nothing. It's generate a random number between 0.0 to 0.9 in double type. So again, let's say I can say, so I will use random method. Random method. So what's a random method does? It generate random number, a random number, okay, between 0.0 to 0.9. Sorry, 0.9. Okay, so let's see that how we can call the predefined method. Very simple. This random method is it's a static method. So there's you can add a static with your your method. You want to declare a method, your method is like public, then on the top of public you can add static, which is extra layer of accessibility. If your method is a static, public static method, that time you call that method directly by class name and the method name. You don't have to use the object reference. So here, this is the traditional way to call your method, like using an object reference of your class. But if your method is a public static, so if I make a static, you can make your method as a static. Okay, if you make your method is static, this is not a mandatory, it's optional. But if you make your method is static, that time you don't have to use the object reference. You can call directly this method like your class name. What's your class name? This is the class name. This is the class name dot method name. You can see this is, I can see the method name. You can see, you see, it shows the, this is my method, the do addition. Okay, and then you can pass the value over here, right? 100 and over here 200. Okay, so you can do this too. That time I don't need this one. So your method could be static too. Okay, static too. Okay, so let's remove that part. So I'm going to just remove this. Okay, let's remove that part and then save it. I'll remove this static keyword. Now, so now here we come back to over here, predefined method. So random is a predefined method underneath a class, math class. So if I want to call this method, let's see how can I call. So I'm going to following the same format, your class name dot method name. So what's a class name? Class name is math dot method name is a random method. It's called, you can see as soon as you put dot, you can see all those are method. You can see this is the all of the method are available already predefined inside this math class. So it's up to you which one you are going to call. You can see there is a random. You see the random, and its return type is a double. Okay, return type is a double. So let's see, I'm selecting the random method, and then let's see what I'm going to, so it will generate, I say the number 0.0 to 0.9. That's why its return type is a double. And I want to, let's multiply this number, whatever is going to be number, let's multiply with the 5. Okay, let's multiply with the 5. And now let's put this one in a here, let's return as a integer. Okay, I will return this one. Okay, let's put this one in a variable. So I would say, say we'll declare a x. So we'll say a random number, random underscore number. Okay, random number, and let's return is integer here, and mix over here this one to return is integer. Okay, so we're going to have a integer number, whatever the double will have, creating the this random number, generate the number, will multiply with the 5, and then it will have an integer format, so it will be assigned to this random variable, and this it is an integer. Okay, we don't know what's the number. Now if you want, you can do some sort of comparison. Let's see, we're returning here. If you want, let's say the we can just string sys out. We can say the random number is, the random number is, okay, random number is, okay, concatenate, and then this is the variable, so it will show you the random number, right? Okay, let's run it. You can see, so this is the 350, this is from this, okay, this is from here, and then this is the random number is 3. So this is generating whatever the number, we don't know, it will multiply with the 5, multiply with the 5, and then it is the number is 3 now. Okay, so this is the predefined. Here is the example of random method. Is a predefined method. It's already defined in a Java library that comes with a Java library. So, okay, so that's another type of method, which is one is predefined method, and another one is a user defined method. So like programmer, they will define it. Okay, so pretty much that's all about the method. And also I already shown you that how to call a method. You can either call your method using your object reference, then you can use the object reference, call the method, or if the method is static, I already explained you, and then that time you are going to use the format would be your class name, like this, your class name dot your method name. Okay, so that's all about methods. Very simple but very effective. You have to know how to create your method, because in real life all of your test case is going to be nothing, it's method, have to be inside the method. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much. Bye bye.